Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh opens up in rare essay. As Sudan war hits stark and terrible milestone. As the calendar turned into a new year in 2026. A grim marker emerged on the global stage. On January 9, the civil war in Sudan reached exactly 1,000 days since fighting erupted in April 2023. This milestone, described as stark and terrible, has transformed the nation into the world's most severe humanitarian crisis, marking the occasion with unusual candor. Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, published a powerful personal essay titled "The World is Ignoring the Sudan War." The piece appeared in the Telegraph newspaper. At 60 years old, Sophie, wife of Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh and youngest brother of King Charles III, chose this rare moment to speak directly from the heart. Her words carried the weight of first-hand experience, gained during an official visit to the region in October 2024. That journey made history as the first by any member of the British royal family to Chad, a neighboring country. There, near the tense border town of Edinburgh, Sophie witnessed the relentless human flow of despair. She described standing on the frontier, watching an endless stream of exhausted people arrive. Some walked on foot, others rode in donkey-drawn carts. Families clinging together or individuals traveling alone. The Duchess shuddered at the horrors they must have fled. Brutality inflicted by raging militias tearing through towns. In the calm of that moment, she later wrote, "The scale of trauma became almost unimaginable. Edinburgh itself had changed beyond recognition. Once home to around 40,000 residents, the town now sheltered more than 200,000 refugees. Local people and aid organizations struggled to provide basic essentials like food, water, and temporary shelter. Those who reached this relative safety were, in many ways, the fortunate ones. Millions more remained trapped inside Sudan, facing ongoing violence, starvation, and disease. The conflict itself stems from a deep power struggle. It began when tensions boiled over between the Sudanese armed forces, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, commanded by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo. What started as a political rivalry escalated into widespread atrocities and mass displacement. Reliable estimates suggest over 150,000 lives lost. The United Nations describes it as the largest hunger crisis and the biggest displacement emergency on the planet. More than 12 million people have fled their homes, with millions crossing borders into Chad and other nations. Inside Sudan, nearly 30 million require urgent aid, while famine spreads in pockets of the country. Health systems have collapsed, water supplies are contaminated, and preventable diseases sweep through crowded camps. Children bear a disproportionate burden, with millions facing acute malnutrition and trauma. Sophie has long championed the women, peace and security agenda. Her royal work focuses intensely on the impact of conflict on women and girls around the world. Previous engagements have taken her to challenging locations, including Kosovo, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and even Ukraine. In each place, she highlights gender-based violence and the resilience of female survivors and peacebuilders. During her Chad visit, supported by her patronage of Plan International UK, she met women who had endured unimaginable ordeals. At a mobile protection unit, she listened to stories of profound loss mixed with quiet strength. Young children had lost entire families in brutal ways. Mothers had witnessed the murder of husbands and sons. Women spoke of sexual exploitation, forced in exchange for basic necessities like food and water. These accounts, Sophie emphasized, reflected the experiences of countless others caught in the war's merciless grip. She met mothers now caring for separated children, demonstrating leadership amid chaos and grief. Their courage reminded her, she wrote, that women stand central not only in survival, but in the long process of rebuilding peace. The Duchess praised the tireless efforts of local groups, humanitarian organizations, and women-led Sudanese collectives. Despite being overstretched to breaking point, they continue delivering aid against overwhelming odds. Emergency assistance alone, she noted, cannot address the enormity of the situation. Long-term support will be needed for years to help people recover lost loved ones, homes, and livelihoods. In her essay, Sophie urged the international community to step up with greater urgency and compassion. She called for decisive action to end the fighting, secure humanitarian access, and enable families to return safely. We cannot change the past 1,000 days, she acknowledged with sobering clarity. Yet this milestone offers a chance to shape the future. By standing alongside those working on the ground, the world can amplify voices that deserve to be heard. Their needs must be valued, their resilience supported. The people of Sudan, she concluded movingly, deserve our compassion, our attention, and our solidarity. Above all, they deserve to know the world has not forgotten them. The pursuit of peace, she insisted, remains possible. Sophie's decision to write so openly marks a departure. She rarely pens personal reflections, preferring quiet action. Yet the gravity of this crisis demanded a louder voice. As a mother herself to Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex, the stories of shattered families struck deeply. Her tears during the 2024 visit spoke volumes about the emotional toll of witnessing such suffering. Royal commentators have praised her unflinching approach. She champions bold causes, addressing crimes others might soften. By spotlighting Sudan at this critical juncture, Sophie brings royal influence to one of the most overlooked tragedies. The essay arrives amid broader calls for action. Aid organizations warn that funding shortfalls threaten lives. Global attention often focuses elsewhere, leaving Sudan in shadow. Yet the scale defies indifference, with millions at risk daily. As 2026 unfolds, the Duchess' words serve as a reminder. Humanitarian crises do not fade simply because headlines move on. They demand sustained solidarity and concrete steps toward peace. Sophie, through her rare and heartfelt essay, has illuminated a path forward amid the darkness. The hope she expresses is fragile but real. With greater global awareness and commitment, the next 1,000 days could bring healing instead of horror. For the people enduring Sudan's war, that possibility represents everything.